Could this be the year for AMD? With AMD finally confirming the release of their Ryzen 7 lineup on the 2nd of March, we are only a brief period away. Everybody waits in anticipation to see if they can deliver competitive performance against the heavyweight CPU manufacturer Intel. Intel have dominated the market share at over 80% for pretty much the last decade. The reason AMD has suffered in previous generations was down to their poor instructions per clock in comparison to Intel, who have managed to deliver greater power with far less heat and wasted efficiency. However, this is all about to change. AMD have confirmed an improvement of 40% greater work per clock cycle compared to the previous excavator core. That's pretty impressive stuff. These improvements can be attributed to brand new architecture and a reduction in their manufacturing process from 32nm to just 14, which matches Skylake and Kaby Lake's microarchitecture. The Ryzen chips also support simultaneous multi-threading, which is effectively AMD's version of hyper-threading. And finally, there are numerous new technologies under the Sense MI banner, which in a nutshell will make the processors more efficient and powerful. The lineup includes the Ryzen 7 1700 clocked at 3.7 GHz, the 1700X at 3.8 GHz and the 1800X at 4 GHz, all featuring 8 cores and 16 threads. The unlocked multipliers will also please overclocking enthusiasts to extract every bit of performance from the new chips, with the 1800X at least matching Intel's 6900 in both the single and multi-threaded benchmark Cinebench. For half the cost, it's clear that AMD means business. The 1700 and 1700X also beat their direct rivals, the 7700 and 6800K. These are exciting times indeed, as Intel hasn't had any reason for revolution, with their processors plodding along at an increase of around 5 to 10% per generation. That's hardly groundbreaking stuff, especially when you consider they predicted a 10 GHz processor by 2011, back in the year 2000. Oh yeah? What happened to that plan then, Intel? Not content with just offering a viable alternative to Intel, AMD also have their Vega lineup of graphics cards coming to trade blows with Nvidia by summer this year. Don't leave it too late though, AMD, as we are just days away from Nvidia unleashing their GTX 1080 Ti, with Nvidia hedging its bets to clean up the market before the Vega lineup sees the light of day. This will definitely be tempting to those with money burning a hole in their pocket and may persuade potential Vega purchasers to part with their money before the unveiling of the Vega cards. Having said that, those with patience only have to look at the recent CES show, where the Vega card managed to outperform the GTX 1080 at 4K in Doom, averaging at around 70 FPS, which looks promising, but then the title was always going to do well due to the Vulkan support. Perhaps on a more level playing field, the Vega card gave respectable performance versus the GTX 1080 in Star Wars Battlefront. Either way, it's nice to see AMD in the same ballpark as Nvidia. As far as we know, the Vega 10 will be using the latest 14nm GFX9 core architecture and 4096 stream processors. Early calculations suggest the card will feature 2 stacks of HBM2 memory with 8GB of VRAM and a bandwidth of 512GB per second. It appears to be the card will be no slouch and will be released in the first half of 2017. Whether you're an Intel, Nvidia or AMD fan really makes little difference. I hope the Ryzen and Vega lineup live up to the hype so there is plenty of healthy competition. This will ultimately mean that you, the consumer, will end up with a better product at a cheaper price, and that's good for everyone. I mean, imagine this. If you can buy either a CPU or GPU which equals the Intel or Nvidia equivalent for 70% of the price, which would you go for? For me, it's no contest. I would always go for the best price to performance ratio, and that's what I've always strived for on this channel, keeping you passionate about PC, whatever your budget. If you haven't done so already, subscribe for more content like this. It's the small red button in the bottom right corner. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section. Just like a phoenix from the ashes, do you think it's time for AMD to rise again?